Okay, boys, it's the first round of the playoffs, and we play Syracuse, and we need to defend their power play. This is where their guard and tackle pool. And so we're going to talk about um, the defensive ends and the defensive tackles assignments for this power play. Okay, on this first one, you're going to see a down block here, a down block here, a down block here. This guard is going to pull, and then this tackle is going to pull. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, that's a nice play for a touchdown. Okay, let's go from left to right. Defensive ends, you are reading this tackle. If this tackle down blocks, then you know that this guard is pulling. And so you need to squeeze and spill. Okay, so let's take a look here. Okay, so there's the down block. So we know that this guard is coming. And so this defensive end should be squeezing down and then spilling this guard. Okay, this is exactly what you don't want to do. You don't want to just mindlessly sprint upfield towards the quarterback and running back. That's going to do zero good. You see that? See how he takes himself out of the play? Okay, now let's talk about this defensive tackle. Defensive tackle, your job this week is to penetrate, okay? And you are reading this guard, okay? So if this guard comes towards you to block, you need um, to uh, to shock, extend, and find the ball and shed. Okay. If this tackle comes to down block you, then you need to shock, extend on this guard, and you need to give this tackle the hip. Remember how we talked about defending a double team, and we need to hold this gap. Okay, so let's see how this defensive tackle does. And he gets completely washed out of the play. Okay. This is what we can't happen. All right. So defensive tackles, you have to read this play. You have to feel that double team. So right here, boom. See how he has no extension? His hands aren't in. His hands should have come up and punched this guard and then given him the hip. Okay, tackle, same thing. Okay, we're gonna get a down block here. Remember, defensive tackles, your read is the guard. If this guard goes to pull, there is a split second where you might be able to get through and go and tackle the quarterback or the running back. We call that chasing. Okay. If you can't chase because you're too late, you need to either big cat this center all the way back, or at the very least, you have to cross his face. Okay. So let's see. He does neither. Okay. So see right here, right here. Okay. So he's late. This center does a really good job. He needs to work across into this hole right here. Okay. That's where he needs to work. Okay, and this backside defensive end, it's hard to tell which one it is. Remember, defensive end, if this tackle pulls away, your job is to come up here and watch the quarterback because the quarterback might try to pull and run. Okay, so look, this guy pulls, you just come up here. You don't go and try and make the tackle until you see the exchange of the football, until the quarterback or the running back start running. Okay, let's go to number 8. All right, let's see the play. Okay, there's the pull. There's the run. Okay. All right, let's start out here. Defensive end. Your read is this tackle. If this tackle down blocks or if this tackle ignores you and goes up to the linebacker, you have to squeeze and spill. Okay, so let's take a look. We're right here. Linebacker goes, so the tackle goes straight up to the linebacker. Okay, so that's your cue. You know that this guard is coming. So you have to squeeze down. So let's see how he does. Okay, he starts running upfield, and that's incorrect. He should be squeezing down here. Okay, this is why defensive ends. I've told you, at no point should you be working upfield. You should not be sprinting upfield this week. You are reading, okay? Let the defensive tackles penetrate. You are just making your read, okay? Now he should come across and spill this guard. This is actually a pretty good job. This is a pretty good job, okay? Even though he's out of position and he's not using very good technique, he should be spilling, but it actually has the desired effect because watch, the running back wants to run up into this hole, but now he has to spill it outside, okay? All right, this defensive tackle, okay? Remember, your read is this guard. If this guard comes to block you, okay, you have to win this fight. All right? So let's watch this. Okay, the guard blocks, and look, okay, he lost there. Okay, that cannot happen this week. So this is we should shock, extend, shed, go get the ball carrier. Okay, that's our goal. If you can actually get a good get off and penetrate this gap and beat him here, that's acceptable too. Okay, this guard, you are reading this, or this defensive tackle, you're reading this guard. If this guard goes to pull, then you chase. Okay, if you're not fast enough to chase and this center comes to down block you, you need to run this center over, or you need to shock, extend, and cross his face and get over here. Okay, so let's see how this tackle does. Defensive tackle, he's right here, and he just gets blocked. That's a big cat, man. That's a big boy. Okay. Our defensive tackles are a lot faster. So I would expect you to either I'll show you where. Right there. You see this crease where the center, you see this space right here where the center can't get over to block and the guard is vacated. If you can get in here, you have a free run to the quarterback and the running back. Okay. Okay. Now the backside defensive end, we're not going to be in nine techs. We're going to be in five techs. But check this out. If this, your read is this tackle. If this tackle pulls away from you, your job is to come in here and watch the quarterback and make sure the quarterback doesn't try to run. Okay? So our defensive end over here, right here, he pulls, so you just come up and make sure. Because look, if this guy pulls it and tries to run, we have to be there to defend it. Okay? Let's go to play 10. This is going to be the same play, but just from a different view. Okay? So let's take a look. Okay, so there's the pulling guard and tackle and the run. Okay, so we have a defensive tackle, and they have wide nines. Remember, we our defensive ends, we're going to be in five techs on the outside shoulder of this guard. Okay, so let's start right to left. So this defensive end, your read is this is this tackle. If this tackle down blocks or moves up to a linebacker, you need to squeeze and spill. Okay, so let's see what this tackle does. And the tackle down blocks and then goes up to a linebacker. Okay, so that's your cue. As soon as you see this down block here, boom, you should be squeezing this so that you can spill this pulling guard. Okay. All right. Let's check out this defensive tackle. Remember, defensive tackle, your read is this guard. If this guard comes to block you, then you shock, extend, peek, and shed. If you feel this double team, then you shock and extend on this guard and you give this tackle the hip. Okay, so let's watch here. And he cuts inside. It's not a good move. He just took himself out of the play. Okay. All right. Okay, this defensive tackle should be reading this guard. As soon as the guard pulls, this defensive tackle should chase. Oh, he's late. Okay, now he gets picked up by the center. He should not be going upfield. He should be shocking, extending, and crossing the face of the center to get back into the play over here. Okay. Okay, and finally, this backside defensive end, as soon as your read is this tackle, as soon as this tackle moves away, you just creep up and your eyes are on the quarterback. Make sure the quarterback doesn't run this way. So he's here. He pulls. All right. Remember, do not chase the ball until you see them run towards the line of scrimmage. Primary, your first assignment is to make sure this quarterback doesn't keep the ball and run out here. Okay. All right. Let's take a look from a bird's eye view. Cedar Valley. Okay. Play 4. Okay, this is a bird's eye view, so this will give you like an interesting look. Okay, so what we're going to see here is we're going to see a down block here. Okay, a down block here, and he's going to go up to the mic, I think, and then these two are going to pull. So let's take a look. Okay, good. Okay, did you see defensive ends? Let's start here. Did you see how he only touched him with his right hand? Watch. Do you see that little touch? If you see that little touch, here I'll show it again from the beginning. Sorry. Boom. You know that the guard's coming, okay? So what this defensive end should do right here is squeeze and then spill. So right here, okay. The defensive end, your read is the tackle. The tackle has moved up to the linebacker, so you know that this guard is pulling. So you need to squeeze down and then you need to come and spill this. Okay, this is wrong. You see how he just came straight for the running back? That's incorrect. Okay. Okay, let's look at this. We don't really have a defensive tackle, but remember our guards are going to be right here. Remember, you're reading the guard, okay? So if this guard comes to block you, you're going to try and beat the guard and get into the backfield. Remember, defensive tackles, you're penetrating this week, okay? Um, Same here. Once you see this guard pull, you can try and get into the backfield, okay? And then this defensive end, as soon as you see that tackle pull, you're going to come up here and your eyes are on the quarterback to make sure the quarterback doesn't pull it. Okay. This play broke down because the quarterback fumbled the ball, but you can see the mechanics. Okay. You can see what's happening. They're pulling. Okay. So let's go to number 5. Okay. This is the offense again. We have tackle, guard, center, guard, tackle. All right. Perfect. Okay. So right here, we're going to get, he's going to go up to the linebacker. We're going to get a down block, and then these two are going to pull around. Okay. So let's focus on this defensive end. This defensive end should squeeze and spill. The tackle goes up, squeeze, spill. That's actually a pretty good job. And say, look, he gets knocked back, but you should be spilling all the way in here. Okay. So if we throw that rip on the outside shoulder with the outside hand, it should force this guard to come up and over. Okay, so let's watch it again. This defensive end, a tackle goes up. You should be coming in, boom, but don't get pushed back. Spill them here. Okay. All right, let's look at this. Let's look at this defensive end. This defensive end, as soon as this guy goes, he should be coming up looking for this quarterback. Okay, and that's exactly right. You see how the quarterback did not hand it off. This is the quarterback. This is the running back. The quarterback handed it off and kept it. Okay. And so that's what we're afraid of. Okay. So if this quarterback keeps it, he might try to run this way. And that's defensive end. That's your primary responsibility. Okay. Good job there. Okay. 13. Okay. Let's take a look. They're running power right. All right. So this defensive end, we're either going to see a down block here. He's going to move up to the linebacker. Let's take a look. The defensive end should be reading the tackle. The tackle goes straight up to that linebacker. Okay. So the defensive end should squeeze and spill. Let's take a look at what he does. Okay, that's not a very good job. He's getting pushed back, right? He should be squeezing, squeeze, spill. Okay. Okay, let's take a look at this backside defensive end. As soon as this tackle goes, he should be stepping up here with his eyes on the quarterback to make sure the quarterback doesn't run it. Okay, so that guy goes, he should be coming up. Okay. Okay, let's look at just one more. Actually, you know what? Let's go over to the spill versus box. Okay, so just as a reminder, guys, defensive end, you're reading this tackle. This tackle down blocks, you squeeze and spill. Okay, they're going to show a replay. Squeeze, spill. All right, so let's come back here. So this defensive end, his read is this tackle. The tackle down blocks. So he's going to squeeze down. He's going to look for this guard, and then he's just going to spill him. Okay, so there's the down, there's the squeeze. Now he just has to spill. Okay, you see how he hits him with his outside shoulder? That's what we want. Okay, that's what we want because it forces the running back to run this way. Okay, so take a look here. You have your defensive end right here. This tackle is his read. He's going to down block here. So he's going to squeeze down and then spill. Okay, so we see him squeezing down. Now he's going to take on this guard and he's just going to spill him. Okay, he hits him with his outside shoulder. Forces the running back to run this way. And there it is. Okay, right here. This is the defensive end. They're going to get down blocks here. So his read is this tackle. This guard's going to come, so he's going to squeeze down and spill. Okay, there's the squeeze. Okay, now he sees this pulling guard, so he's just going to spill him. Forces the running back outside, and that's where they make the tackle. Okay. Nope. Okay, right here, we see the down block. So this defensive end is reading this tackle. There's the down block, so he squeezes down. You see how he's standing where the tackle started? That's called squeezing down. He's taking away this space. Now he sees this guard pulling. He's going to hit him with his outside shoulder. That's correct. Okay, you see how he hit him with his outside shoulder? I'll play it again. Outside shoulder, and it forces the running back to come over the top. Okay, so defensive ends, very important this week that you squeeze and spill. Okay, now this is for defensive ends and defensive tackles. Okay, we are stabbing and extending this week. Okay, so your first interaction with the offensive line should be a stab and then an extension and a peek. Stab, peek, stab, extension, peek. Stab, extension, peek. Okay, stab, extension, right? Stab, extension, peek. And then when we shed, then we go make the tackle. Okay. Okay, so that is their power play. That's like 80% of their plays, guys. Okay. So if we can stop that, then we're going to stop their offense. I just want to real quick go through another running play that they have. They run inside zone just like we do. Okay. And so let's go to 8 and then 9. Okay. So I want to give you a look at their inside zone. They have tackle, guard, center, guard, tackle. Okay. So let's take a look. And they're just running inside zone. You see that? Okay. Now in this one, the quarterback pulled and he took it outside. But I just want you to watch the offensive line here. All the offensive line is going to do is fire out and look for someone to block. They're actually going to get a double team right here if you watch. They're going to double team. Okay. So that's exactly what we do. So remember, line, If you see a man come at you, okay, you're going to stab, you're going to extend, you're going to peek to find the ball, shed, and go get it. Okay, let's take a look at another one. This is from a different angle. This is just inside zone. Quarterback pulled it again. Okay, so if they run inside zone, defensive tackles, defensive ends, I just want you to stab, okay, extend, peek, you're holding your gap. As soon as you see the ball, you shed and you go get them. Okay, so watch this guard right here on this defensive tackle. Yep, right there. Okay, defensive ends, you're out here. Watch this tackle. He's just going to come out and block him right here. There's the block. Okay, let's take a look at this defensive tackle here. And he's just going to get blocked. Okay, makes sense, guys? Okay, so they run they run two plays, right? They run power and then they run inside zone. And you know your responsibilities for each. Okay, now I just want to show you a few pass plays. Okay. All right. And I want you to tell me when you know it's a pass play. Okay, let's go to 6. I just want you, so if you're a defensive end, pretend like you're this defensive end out here. Okay, this is the tackle, this is your read. I know it's a pass play right now. You see how he stands straight up and goes a little bit backwards? That's your cue to rush the quarterback. Okay. Let's take a look at this one. This will be a good one. See this tackle, defensive end, boom. Okay, let's actually look at the left tackle too. This is the left tackle. Stands straight up and moves back, okay? That's how you know it's a pass. All right. Now, defensive tackles, it probably shouldn't matter because you're penetrating anyways, but just watch these interior linemen and tell me when you know that it's pass. See, pass. They stand straight up. Okay. So we have 3 reads this week, guys. Only 3. Okay. The first one is their power play. Okay. And you all know your assignments. The second one is inside zone. You know your assignments. And then the final one is pass. You know your assignments. Okay. Remember, defensive ends, you are not penetrating this week. All right. That's how you get into trouble. Defensive tackles, you are penetrating, and we expect you to win your one-on-one matchups. Okay, this is the final thing I want to go over. This is that wedge play that we talked about in practice. So if we call pinch, okay, it's going to be pretty obvious, okay? You see how close these guys are together? So we're going to have our defensive tackles in this A gap, and our defensive ends, you're going to actually move all the way into this B gap. So you guys should be touching. If they're going to be this close, you should be touching shoulder to shoulder. And all you're going to do is stay low and on the snap, penetrate. What's going to happen is the quarterback and the running back are going to stay back here. This H is going to come over, take the snap, and try to sneak it. Watch. Okay. Now see how they got driven back into the end zone? So all 4 of you need to penetrate low and hard and push this line back. Okay? Boom, right there. You see how this it's like 1, 2, 3, 4 on 1. Okay? Do not do what these guys did. This guy's gonna like come this way, I think. Watch him. No, don't do that. Okay? You if you're the defensive end out here in this B gap, you hit this B gap hard. Okay, this guy should actually be in here. That's how we're gonna do it. If you're the defensive tackles, you hit this A gap hard. Okay, let me show you one more of these just for completeness. Okay, so right here, you see how they're so tight. So we're gonna make a pinch call, and it should be A gap, A gap, B gap, B gap, and watch. This guy's gonna blow up the play. He's gonna come in trying to sneak. Okay, you see how hard, how he hit low and hard, and how that caused a big problem? That's what we're trying to do there. Okay, just get low and drive. Okay, so let's go over each position real quick. Um, just so that there's, like no confusion. Defensive ends, your read is the tackle. Actually, let me pull one up so I can point at it. Um, let's do number three, I think. No, let's do number eight. Okay. Defensive ends, you're going to be in a five tech, both of you, and your read is the tackle. Okay. And there's only three possible reads, or actually four. Okay. The first read, if this tackle down blocks, okay, or moves straight up to the linebacker, then you are going to squeeze and spill. That's read number one. Read number two, if this tackle pulls, okay, you are going to still squeeze down and you're just going to look at this quarterback, make sure the quarterback doesn't try to run. Your third read is if they run inside zone. So if this tackle just comes out to base block you, like inside zone block you, then it's just regular run defense. You're going to shock, you're going to extend, you're going to peek, you're going to shed, and you're going to go make the tackle. Your final read defensive end is if this tackle stands up to pass block, and then you are just going to rush the quarterback. Okay? All right. Defensive tackles. You have four reads as well. Okay? The first read is so defensive tackles, you're going to be in a two tech, which means you're going to be head up on this guard. If this guard pulls, then you are going to chase. Okay? Now remember, defensive tackles. This week, you're only going to get blocked by either the center or the guard. Okay? So just remember that. Okay, so defensive tackle. Okay, so let's go back to your first read. If this guard pulls, then you are going to chase. Remember, there, if you have a good get off, you might be able to beat the down blocker and get into this backfield. Okay, so that's your first read. Your second read, okay, is if you get down blocked. Okay, so if you get down blocked, you have to win that one-on-one matchup. So you are shocking, you are extending, you are shedding, and you are trying to get to the ball. Okay, I expect you to win your one-on-one matchups. Okay, so the third read is inside zone. Okay, so that's when this guard is just going to try and base block you head up, and I expect you to shock, extend, peek, shed, and make the tackle. And your fourth and final read is if they pass pro, right? So if they stand up and they step back in pass protection, you are rushing the quarterback. Okay, just so we're crystal clear, guys, defensive ends, you are reading this tackle. Okay, you are not penetrating. Under no circumstances should you be getting upfield. You are reading this tackle and making your read. It is super important that you squeeze and spill this week. Okay, that is your most important job, defensive ends. Defensive tackles, you are reading the guard, but you are penetrating off the ball. I want you guys coming off that ball hard, okay? And um, I expect you guys to fight like dogs down there, um, and hopefully, we can get some tackles for loss. All right, boys, play hard this week. Good luck.